Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Chopping It Up with Love. I am your host, Love Ray Now, coming from the comforts of my home. I'm about to head to the stadium, so I want to run down real quick what I was supposed to do last night about this upcoming Baltimore Ravens and Las Vegas Raiders game. So I'm ready for game time. I am going to head down to the stadium in a little bit, but let's get this football Sunday started. This is week 2 of the NFL. And you know, my two teams are clashing today. They're going head to head. Both teams are coming in 0-1. So, unfortunately, one of the teams will be leaving out 0-2. So, we're gonna see what's gonna how it's gonna play out. So, anyway, some notable injuries for both teams. I start with the Baltimore Ravens. We are gonna be without our rookie cornerback Nate Wiggins. He was involved in an auto accident, and I believe he has a mild concussion and a neck injury or something. And Kyle Van Noy, our pass rusher, he's a veteran. For our defense, he is a game time decision. I'm not sure if the decision has been made or not. And for the Raiders, out is Tyree Wilson. He is a DB. He will be out. He has a knee. And a game time decision is JPJ. I'm not sure what's going on with him. I didn't really dive into it, but he's a game time decision. And so keep in mind, all this was last night. I didn't do any check-ins this morning. So I'm just gonna go with what I got because I'm in a rush. Like I'm going so fast because I'm supposed to be out of here already. So remember to like and subscribe to Chopping It Up with Love, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and also if you're on the audio only platform, please make sure you visit the YouTube page and check us out there, okay? And make sure you download as well. Okay, so here are a few possible matchups to keep your eyes on today. Defensive tackle Justin Madubuike. He is a game disruptor versus maybe left guard Cody Whitehair. And last week, Minshew was sacked 4 times. So Whitehair, I think Whitehair will have his hands full today dealing with defending Justin Madubuike. And cornerback Brandon Stevens, B. Steve of the Baltimore Ravens, who in my opinion balled out last year. And he was like, he didn't really get the accolades or the praise he deserved. I call him a silent assassin because he is there lurking always, and he will be versus maybe Devontae Adams, a wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I'm going so fast because I gotta hurry and get out of here. But Devontae Adams, who is still trying to build a chemistry with Gardner Minshew. Adams did miss the majority of the training camp, if not all, because he welcomed the birth of his first son. He has 2 daughters, so this is his first son. So he was there for that. So they're still trying to build their chemistry. He has chemistry with AOC because he played last year, but Gardner Minshew, is a new addition to the Raiders family. So let's see, and then there's right tackle Pat McCarry, who will have his hands full having to defend and deal with Max Crosby for 60 minutes. Well, 30 minutes or whatever. And Max Crosby, who had a career high of 14.5 sacks last season. He is a top 4 defensive end, in my opinion, and he is a certified game wrecker. They call him the Condor because of his wingspan, and he will grab and wrap you up. So Pat McCarry will have his hands full. Good luck with that. And so also another possible matchup is inside linebacker and all-pro Roquan Smith, who has been dealing with a shoulder all last week since the Kansas City Chiefs game. He may be versus the tight end rookie Brock Bowers, who was coached by Ravens offensive coordinator Todd Monken back in Georgia, and which Roquan he played for Georgia too. So they have a little thing going on there, a little triangle of sorts. And then there's running back Derrick Henry, who's new to the flock. However, his reputation precedes him. He may be versus the big guy up the middle, defensive tackle coming over from the Miami Dolphins, Christian Wilkins. He is new to the Raider Nation, but he pairs perfectly with Max Crosby. So we'll see how those potential matchups play out in today's game. And here's a few keys to win. So for the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, keys to a win. The Raiders gave up 167 yards on the ground last week in the game versus the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. So I'm sure Baltimore has plans for Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, and Jackson in the run game. A little play faking maybe, some draw plays, which I like because they can be run out of either shotgun or the from under center. So the Ravens need to exhaust every option to keep Crosby in check. and protect their QB1. Now, I've never understood something. Why do they call it running downfield when the field is obviously flat? Hmm. Hmm. Things that make you go, hmm. And so on to the next. So sticking with the Ravens, left guard Daniel Falele says that he's been getting long distance coaching from his former teammate Kevin Zeitler, who signed a 1 year deal with the Detroit Lions this last offseason. Falele says it's good to have a veteran player and a friend that he can count on and as a resource. Falele didn't have an impressive game one last week against versus the Chiefs. So we'll see if he improves for week 2. Hopefully he will. Well, I like both teams, but I'm a Raider at heart. And so also sticking with the Ravens O line needs to protect Lamar at all costs and create gaps for Henry and Hill to get downfield. Max will be a factor on every Ravens offensive snap. He is relentless and he never wavers, and he's out there for every snap. So and also for the Ravens, establish and commit to the run game early. And they have to keep Devontae Adams wrapped up, double teaming, triple teaming, whatever you have to do. But there's also the threat of Tyreek. Not Tyreek. I just know him as oh my God, I can't remember his name. he balled out Tucker. Yeah. I think it's Tucker. Oh my God, I feel so bad. He balled out in the last season game against the San Francisco 49ers. But yeah, they have to keep an eye out for him too. But he's on special teams, but I don't know how they're gonna use him. But anyway, and finally, sticking with the Ravens, all eyes on number 18, Jack Jones. He is a ball hawk, a menace, and will feast on the ball every chance he gets. He is a certified tracker. So you have to look out for Jack Jones, okay? All right. Now, for the Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders' keys to a win. The Raiders need to tighten up on the run defense. If they expect to stop the most dominant, run-happy team in the NFL, they will have to find holes for the entire game. Have to fill holes the entire game. Last week, the run D was effective for the entire first half and the third quarter. Part of the third quarter, however, the offense was stagnant, so it left the defense on the field for so long, and they were gassed, which brought about the perfect run storm for the Los Angeles Chargers. J.K. Dobbins dominated the run game towards the end of the game, and we cannot allow this week against the Baltimore Ravens. It's common knowledge that once Henry gets started, he's unstoppable. So we have to, the offense has to stay on the field longer. They have to put up yards. They have to dominate the time of possession and give the defense a chance to rest and get their energy back, because they were truly gassed last week. They were gassed. They did a good job up until the end. So I don't know. And the Baltimore Ravens are going to wear them down. So they have to be the Raiders offense has to be they have to dominate the time of possession. Just let me say, they have to be productive too and stay on the field. Also, sticking with the Raiders need to exploit the rather pedestrian play calling from the Ravens' first year defensive coordinator and defensive play caller Zach Orr. Last week his play calling was suspect and pedestrian, which I guess is to be expected because he's a first-time play caller. So we'll see how that goes. And the Raiders need for Crosby and Wilkins to get after Lamar relentlessly. The Raiders need to, but don't hurt him. The Raiders need to rack up on the run stuff. That's important too. No more than 1 yard or minus yards. I don't know. The Raiders also need to utilize their offensive weapons, and Minshew will need to open up the pass game and play free but calculating. Don't hold back, because both teams are already in a hole with 0 wins and 1 loss. So today is not the day to play safe, as both teams enter in the game with an 0-1 record. The wide receiver, let me see. Oh, yeah, we have to get Brock Bowers involved early and often, maybe even run some 2 tight end sets with Mayer. Crosby and Wilkins, like I said, need to be Himothy's. And the 2 jacks on defense need to hunt. Tucker and Adams and Bowers get involved. Carlson needs to not miss field goals. So Carlson missed a field goal. And on the Ravens side, this is so confusing, the 2 R's. But on the Baltimore Ravens side, Justin Tucker missed a field goal too. and he also missed one. Yeah, he missed one. He missed one. I was glad like we played 2 games already, but yeah, he missed one. And Zamir White, well, he was balling until he had the fumble. Madison did take it to the house, so maybe Madison should be RB1 and Zamir needs to be RB2. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out. And I put this in here, but Getsy, the offensive coordinator, Getsy. So I made a mistake last week. I didn't. So I heard from a reliable Raider source that they Getsy was the third choice, and he was an Antonio Pierce hire. So I was under the impression that head coaches they couldn't hire, that it had to be the GM to do the hiring. So my bad. So apparently Antonio signed off on it. So Getsy needs to go. He needs to go. He was some shit when he was with the Chicago Bears, and is showing that nothing's changed. And the closing out, let's trust in our consistency, even if it isn't making any noise yet. Okay.